Here we go. So, we're going to talk now about March 1st.
Right.
Our previous talk was about February 28th. Great day, bicycling, Hokitika Gorge, all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And March 1st was a day that, well, we woke up kind of cranky,
Mm-hmm.
and we were going to drive north. And we'd been having this debate about how far north we were going to drive.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go all the way up to the end of the road. And Terry said, well, what did you say?
I didn't want to ride for 4 hours, stay overnight, pack up, and leave again, and go back another 4 hours, 3-4 hours, and then we were going to go another 2 hours to where we were going to stay. So I said, this is too far, too much.
It was a lot of driving, and it's not easy driving. It was on these super winding, narrow, two-lane,
Right.
in some cases semi-paved roads with one-lane bridges. It's challenging drive. So Terry said, no.
Not riding there.
Well, so we had kind of left it open as far as how far we were going to go, but coming out of Hokitika, one of the things that we really wanted to do was go to Punikaiki.
Mm-hmm.
Did I pronounce it
You
the way
did.
you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay, Punikaiki. Because at Punikaiki, they have Pancake Rocks.
And Pancake Rocks are really interesting formation. They have a whole setup there, a cafe and an eyesight for information, and the path is paved so people in wheelchairs can go, and you wind around these various rocks, and the rock formations are just fabulous. They're something I've never seen before. They're eroded limestone, but I think the limestone is pushed up out of the rock bed and then erodes in a really kind of strange way, maybe from the wind and the water. And in that area alone is where those rocks are. And they make beautiful, beautiful designs. It's quite a stunning landscape. So,
Yeah.
and then there were surge pools in between the rocks, so you could actually go out onto this little sort of like island and see the water coming all around the rocks. That's
Right.
great.
Yeah. Good description. The other thing about so these were clearly sedimentary rocks, and you could see all these strata,
Mm-hmm.
and then the erosion patterns made them really nice, and the paved trail was great. There were kids all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
families.
But the kids were so cute with what they would see and jumping around. And
The other thing that they had here was what are called Nico palms. So this is a type of palm. It's the southernmost pine or palm in the world, I think, something like that.
yeah, something like that.
Certainly the southernmost palm in New Zealand. And they have this unusual upright structure where it comes up and then flares out with the branches still going up at a reasonably steep angle. And had we gone to the end of the road, there was a well-known grove of them up there. But I think that part of the road to get to that grove was washed out or something.
Yeah, beyond that last town at the end of the road, there was a bridge that was washed out. And what I read was it's part of this long, long trail that if people are doing the backpacking trail, that they're supposed to call a helicopter. Because the bridge is washed out. They're supposed to call a helicopter to take them across the river so they can continue backpacking. I thought, well, that's pretty interesting.
Oh.
But anyway, back to Punikaiki.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then we had, of course, our usual ice cream.
We had gelato. Yeah.
Gelato. So I had passion fruit, which has become one of my most favorite fruits because it's so tart and great flavor.
And I had orange with chocolate chips.
Also very good because we put it all in one cup.
Yeah.
So we got all the
proceeded
taste.
to eat each other's gelato.
Yeah.
Anyways, we then drove on, and during this drive, we decided we're not going to go all the way. We were going to go halfway between Hokitika and the end of the road, and so we stopped in a town called Westport. And
can I say, it's kind of amazing because you come out of these twisty, windy roads that you've been on for miles down into a valley, and there's this town, and it's not a tiny town. It's, with just a few places. It's like a strip mall with 6 blocks of cafes and stores on either side. And there's a store selling washers and dryers. I'm going, oh my gosh, it's just amazing. How do they get all this stuff there? I don't know.
right,
I guess trucks.
everything had to come in. Well, they may have a railroad that goes to there.
They may have the railroad, yeah.
But other than that,
Right.
we were miles away from anything else on 2-lane paved road.
Yeah, it was just amazing to come down into this town.
And you're right, it was like a 6-block long strip mall.
Yeah, and then there were things on either side too, but
And the town itself, I think, dated back to the late part of the 19th century. So there were structures that were dated, they seemed to be dated in the 1890s. Really interesting architecture that way. There was a municipal town hall that looked impeccably clean and yet was constructed in the 1940s.
yeah, it looked like an Art Deco, Art Deco town hall. Okay, that's interesting.
So some interesting buildings. Anyways, when we got there, it was mid-afternoon. We wanted to eat. We couldn't find anything open.
Yeah.
So we walked down to a grocery store and bought some supplies and walked back. And did we, by then it was 5 o'clock, did we get something to eat or not?
No, we made a big salad with everything we had in our refrigerator.
Right. And we went back to our freedom camp there. So we ended up camping on the beach at a freedom camp. And
do you remember how many sites there were at the freedom camp? It was like 24 or something.
I think for some reason the number 30 sticks in my
30.
mind.
So when we got there, there were maybe 8 different, maybe around 8 campers there. By the time we went to bed, the park was full, completely full, and there were people pulling into places that weren't really technically even parking spaces. It was just amazing to me how fast this filled up once it got later in the day. Very interesting.
So
Lots of young people in the freedom camp.
right, and a middle-aged German couple next to us.
Yeah, who were traveling for 6 weeks, I think.
I thought it was 10.
It was a long time. Maybe it was 10 weeks.
Yeah.
In New Zealand in a camper. They said it was a European dream. Okay, that's a German European dream to do something like this.
There we go. Anyways, sunset.
Sunset was beautiful. We went out to the beach and not quite as good as Hokitika because I think there were clouds, as I remember, so you couldn't see the sun completely going down. But a lovely beach.
I think that's it.
That's news.
So much for March 1st.
Love.
Bye.
Bye.